ridiculous deadlines. Really ridiculous deadlines. I rather not walk to site.
We always have this mentality of rushing,
Yeah.
but why?
Do you think accidents happen because the workers are fatigued? Because they are overstretched at work? Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of The Blueprint by Champions. Today's topic is about zero accidents. Is it a reality or a myth? Joining Khairul and I, we have Raja, who's a SOA-EHS practitioner with us today. Thank you, Raja, for joining us today.
Thank you, Shah. Thanks.
Welcome.
Thank you. I think it's really good to have both of you guys here to talk about this wonderful topic.
Zero accidents,
Let's dig in.
reality or myth?
Yes.
So, Raja, zero accidents. We all expect zero accidents, definitely. One death is too much.
Yeah.
So, how do these accidents happen? There are many possibilities. Obviously, there are so many reasons the accident happened, but maybe we could just talk about a few of them. The first one that I would want to touch about is actually more of a language barrier. If you realize now, I would say, 99.9% of the supervisors on site
Yeah.
are all non-locals. They are foreigners. So they could be either from Bangladesh, India, China, Philippines, Thailand, and all these countries. So while the supervisor is of one nationality, speaking one language, of course they are speaking English, but the English language can get misunderstood too.
Yeah.
And then the guys who are attending the toolbox meeting, which is the briefing, you have different crowds, India, Bangladesh, and that kind of thing. So could we actually point it to miscommunication or, not understanding what is being briefed in the toolbox meeting for accidents to happen?
What's important thing here is when we speak, it becomes a little bit difficult, especially if there are situations where people don't really understand, right?
Yeah.
So one easy thing to do is, which
Google
I
Translator.
feel that's one. but then again, it can come out as a little bit troublesome.
Yeah.
So I think the best way to do is actions.
Actions, okay. Or a translator?
A translator, but sometimes, it could come as a little bit expensive. And also I feel that, you have to get that translator in for every toolbox daily.
For Khairul, your sites previously, we have encountered many of these. For example, we give a pretty short briefing, only 5-10 minutes, and then we tell so many things, and maybe in the afternoon we will, kind of like catch one guy and say, hey, what did we talk in the toolbox meeting just now? And he don't know anything at all. He didn't understand. We could say that maybe he was not paying attention, but there are many incidents that they don't understand. How do you tackle this?
I think communication, when we talk about supervisors communicating with workers, safety guy communicating with workers, or even the top management communicating with workers, it's very important to be communicating with them in their language. The reason being you need to relate to them. Okay, and the communication does not end only in the toolbox meeting. It's also on site. You have to give the work instruction. You have to go and tell them, oh, this is right, this is wrong, or is there anything that has to be more specifically given them instruction. They definitely need a supervisor who can speak their language.
Multiple languages, if I would say
Yes,
so.
correct. Preferably their own language, so that not only about communicating, they also will have a personal relationship with the supervisor where they will be able to relate and explain things. They can also voice out their concerns.
Correct.
If not, it will be like a one-way thing. Supervisor tell them, this is this. They just listen to it, and then that's about it. That's it.
Yeah.
If it is going to be the same language person, he will relate back. He'll reply back. Oh no, this I can do this to make it better. So that way things will get more better. So I think that management, it boils down to management. They should train personnel, employ personnel who have workers according to their nationality. I cannot be having 3 supervisors from Bangladesh or Indian, and I'm going to have PRC workers. end of the day, you're going to be chicken and duck story already.
There's going to be a breakdown in communication.
Even if we're going to have a good translator, the Chinese guys comes in to conduct a toolbox meeting communication just to translate, and then after that he goes off. The thing will go off. It won't be there.
It doesn't work. And say, Raja, for like your sites, how do you tackle this just to make sure that this toolbox briefing is not just simply ticking exercise where what we do is that we just talk something, we get all the workers to sign, acknowledge, they acknowledge they attended the briefing, accident happened, we bring it, proudly show to MOM, see, I did my briefing already, so I'm covered, and the poor guy who's injured. How do we make sure that he really understands what is being briefed in the toolbox meeting?
So let's face it, efficiency is critical. Okay. A lot of times we just take regulatory requirements and we think that's about it. But the truth is whether the thing that we did share to the staff, whether the person understands, which is the bigger picture, right? So often the case, it doesn't translate to understanding. So there are a few ways to tackle this for my sites. So what I usually do is I use videos. A little bit more tech-enabled aids. Pictures. Not just pictures, because nowadays, people are expecting videos. Targeted videos. And that would be used to actually communicate the intent, which is a lot more easier than actually speaking the language, right? To people who don't really understand. So that could come out as a big problem as well.
And like what you say, I think naturally people, rather than listening, they tend to be more attracted to looking. So when they are seeing a video, they get more interested. They see that, this, maybe if you're talking about work at height and you show them some video, they kind of understand. Even though if it's in English, obviously it's best to be in their language. But if it's in English, they kind of understand, I'm working at height, I should wear the harness, I should hook the harness. No use wearing the harness, but I should hook the harness and that kind of thing.
Example, I want to do an installation of a panel at the edge of building. So I'm going to do my fall prevention from within the building. I'm going to use the fault restraint method. If I'm going to just tell them, you need to wear a fault restraint system within the building, how many meters, it's not going to work. You need to literally demonstrate, go to the exact location, demonstrate for these specific workers and tell them, and then get that documented, keep that, and must tell the workers that I'm doing all this, and the reason you're signing all these documents is because you are committing to the fact that I've already conducted this training.
And you're aware.
And in the event I move away and you're not complying to it, it's very simple, straightforward. I have evidence to show that. So the workers will be aware, I have some due diligence as well to follow.
Yeah, true enough. I just want to understand on your perspective, Raja. How do your company actually chooses its subcontractors or vendors? Do they have any standards that they follow and etc.?
For the company that I'm working at right now, we do have a third party who helps us with contractor management. So
that's good.
If you guys have heard of exactly right.
Yeah.
If you guys have heard of ComplyWorks, not too sure if you guys have heard of them. So they actually get people to report and through a subscription. So there's 1 year, there's 3 years, and then they are able to actually see how the contractor is performing over the accidents, the summaries, any past accidents, in fact, what are the certifications that they have, are they ISO certified? So there are quite a lot of things that you can see in a bird's eye view. But we entirely sub out this whole thing to this third party.
This is only for pre-evaluation or also the subsequent periodic?
Both, including the pre and the sub.
Interesting. So that is definitely a very good way to ensure you have very, committed subcontractors or vendors. There's no biasness. There's no, the safety standards are always there because those are like what you said, ISO is one of those that are being looked at. But coming to Khairul, I believe, we have dealt in a different way where we have had companies who actually, when speaking of biasness, they always particularly take certain subcons or vendors because obviously it's cheaper. We all know that. It's cheaper. And they have forged a very close relationship with these subcontractors. So because of that, whenever there's anything wrong going on site, the main con safety comes and he says that no, this one you cannot do, you stop work. He goes to the office. After 5 minutes, someone tells him that no, this company is already working. Why? Because the main con project manager tells the company that no, never mind, you carry on. Because either they are very close or either they know that no, this company is very cheap, so I have to a little accommodate. What's your experience on this, Khairul? I'm very sure you have multiple experiences on this.
There are many instances even when the contracts manager will start calling me and telling me, Kai, I'm having difficulty to get contractors for this specific job. You need to be a bit lenient. What we are asking for is what MOM is asking, the law, the requirement. What we are telling them is, I don't mind you having the same contractor, but what you need to do is you get involved. Since you calling me, you get involved. You tell them what is the requirement I'm asking, which is not unfair. I'm asking you is what the law is requiring. So get them to comply, and everything will be smooth. So we tackle it in that way lah. You want me to bear with this contractor? No problem. I will bear with this contractor, provided he bears with the site requirement. So you have to since you are getting involved, you get involved wholesomely. Get involved. Get them to comply to things. Then things will be working
easier.
Yes.
Have you ever had any incidents that you have met with contractors who do not wish to comply?
Oh,
Rajah.
yes. So many, right?
So many, yeah.
And it's often the case because of the relationship with the contractor. If the occupier, is in a contract with so on and so forth, but we are there just as a supplier to help out with something. The relationship is very different. If I were to go down there and say certain things and I want to stop my work because it's unsafe, they won't really listen to me.
Definitely. Yeah.
And then again, they will be asking like, who am I? Which is often the case. So I had some sites like that overseas, which became a big problem because sometimes you make the call to stop the work if it's unsafe, but sometimes you might need to have questions coming from the project side. It is. They ask you, why do you stop the work unnecessarily? But I told them that, hey, you know what? Basic thing that a contractor needs to do, if they are the main contractor, they need to comply to regulatory requirements. And minimally, if I am there as a subcontractor or supplier on site, they need to make sure that the work area, the way that I walk towards that work area has to be safe. Obstruction free. And most importantly, things like our emergency evacuations, our facilities, it has to be there, labeled and clear as well.
Yeah. I think when speaking about culture, when we are going to speak about zero accidents, it all boils down to culture. What is the culture of the client, the main contractor, the subcontractor? There have been many, accusations that certain main contractors, they actually, employ safety personnel just for the regulatory requirement. The law says that I must have a safety officer, a safety coordinator. Okay, I just employ them and, just for appointment's sake only.
Yeah.
But when they are on site, they are not given any, authority or... I don't want to use the word power.
All this boils down to one simple thing. We are looking at whether accidents is a reality or a myth. Reality, it can be achieved. Number one, it boils down to culture, like what you said. Culture, it starts from top management commitment.
Exactly.
If the top management is committed to give a robust management system, dedicated safety personnel and he does not obstruct his duties, give him the power, then we are looking at the direction of a reality. Okay, if I have CEOs, directors coming to the job site, and the moment they enter the work site, they tell me that everybody needs to wear a safety harness. Okay, regardless of whether you're working on top or below. Why? They say that you're on the work site, you wear a safety harness, full PPE, chin strap. The CEO goes around making sure that the helmet, everyone is wearing a chin strap at the same time. So what? He says that I want to build this culture, this commitment. So if this is being implied, subcontractors, they will have no choice. They have to comply to this. And I also have come across subcontractors who work in this style with main contractor A, and when they go to another contractor, they work in a different style. Because why? This main contractor is very relaxed in safety.
Yeah,
exactly.
So why do I have to follow this? So it comes back to same thing. It comes back to management. If the management is committed, if the management demands for this, if the management says, I want this to be done, regardless of whether the contractor is lousy or not lousy, or whether they are not doesn't want to comply, they have no choice because they also need business. Then they will have to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think, Raja, I guess we're in the business of deploying safety guys and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I just want to give one incident because this is just I just got reminded of this incident. We deployed to this particular company. We are deploying to 2 solar companies,
Okay.
2 main contractors and that kind of thing. So we had a subcon. So this subcon was previously for this company, and then they came and did job for another company. And then this subcon was complaining to me because we are deploying safety for that subcon, saying that no, when I was for that main solar company is so easy. I don't need to give this paperwork. I need to do that. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. But I come to this company, so difficult. I need to attend their in-house trainings. I need to do this. I need to do that, and that kind of thing. Again, like what you said, is the culture.
Yeah.
You see, if the boss of that subcon can talk to me in this manner, how do you think his message is going to be spread down to his his organizations? It's definitely not a very good culture they have. And if you realize, Raja, I wanted to ask you this also. I'm not sure if you are aware of this. The safety standards in Jurong Island is always higher than mainland. Why? Why, Raja?
Very good question. I think, personally, I always felt that Jurong Island is like a ticking time bomb.
Okay.
Why? Because, there are many oil and gas companies.
Yes.
And generally, they have to meet a very stringent requirement.
Because
Why?
one mistake can go.
The severity of an accident is
Yeah.
catastrophic.
Yeah, it's like that BLEVE, the explosion, right? If you have heard of it, one explodes and everything else explodes together. So you never know, anything can
And the
happen.
cost factor.
Yeah.
Now in the mainland construction, that should, if one guy fell down, stop work, maximum, the guy is going to, even it's going to be fatal, they are going to look at a fine of 200,000?
Minimally.
Minimal 200,000, job just stop work, 2 months, 3 months, go under bus. 1 year, they are looking at less than 1 M, finish the cost. Things get back in normal stage. But whereas in the oil and refinery, the severity of accident is way too big for them to bear. As such, they need to implement such proactive measures so that they can have a system where can prevent any mishaps to happen.
Yeah, if you realize, because why I asked this particular question was because I had multiple, or I would say Khairul and I, we had multiple friends who were either working in Jurong Island or Marine Line. When they come to the mainland, they could not adapt. They got very frustrated. They are saying things like simple things, which I'll just touch on. This is going to be a topic in one of those episodes, but I'll just touch a little on this. One of our friend was saying that, why isn't there a near-miss report for any near-miss that happens in mainland? Only certain company, they make it a requirement that when a near-miss happens, you do a report.
Yeah.
But most of the companies don't do a near-miss report. Why? Because there's no requirement for that. You don't need to submit a not unlike incident report, unlike dangerous occurrence, you need to submit. Near miss, there isn't a report that needs to be done, because the company's perspective is that if I don't do a near miss report, that means I'm good.
Yeah.
When the near miss don't happen, that means I'm good. That kind of thing. What do you think of that, Khairul?
Many organizations does not want to do it is because of they tend to think that once I have this near miss, it looks bad on the company organization. And a lot of paperwork follow up. I need to review the RA, I need to review the SWP, I need to raise a corrective action request and all that.
Maybe in the audit they will ask also.
All
like,
this.
Yeah.
So this is also stopping them. And yes, the point that you say it looks bad. Actually, it doesn't look bad. If I were to be an authority and I come to see there's an accident happened related to work at height, but you have 4 or 5 near misses related to that, and you have tackled the problem, you have investigated, and still this has happened, that means I have done all my due diligence.
Exactly,
This
that's
is
the
how we can prove to the authorities that we have done all this and residual risk still accumulated, and that happened. So
Yeah, for Raja, in your case, how do you actually tackle this incident report and near miss report? Do say when a near miss happens in your work site,
Yeah.
do you actually enforce your so-called your like a vendor or your subcon to make sure they do their near miss? Do you actually review it or do you go through it with them or something?
Okay, so in my case, what happens here is, for me, I do a monthly review.
Okay.
And I do share with the contractors as well through our own internal meetings as well,
Okay.
which happens on a regular basis, routinely. Some would be fortnightly, some would be monthly. So how do I go about doing it? They actually have this platform again.
Okay.
So one thing I like about the company it's very techy.
Yeah. Okay.
So and they are not afraid to try, which is
very good.
very important
Yeah.
for EHS. So a lot of things that we are discussing about right now, I feel like the reason why people are lazy and skeptical is because it's a bit troublesome, right? To fill up so many documents.
Exactly, that's the thing.
So we should look at things to make it a bit easier, digitally friendly. With a touch of a button, you can fill up a quick document. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay, yeah.
I've used codes like Python codes,
Oh, okay.
VBA codes to help with this. And then the important thing here is to train those people who are raising these reports.
Correct,
Yeah, but you can't be teaching all the way down to the ground stuff. So thankfully for right now, my situation, they are all engineers. And they have a certain level of literacy, numeracy. They are understanding. They know what to do in the event of a simple report to report. So for that reason, it's a lot easier to drive changes. But of course, in the construction sector, it is dynamic. It's different.
Especially when you speak about construction, deadline. We all know that deadlines are a little crazy in the construction. So everyone is rushing for deadline.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you see someone says that, okay, I finish, 1 month before deadline, that kind of thing. It's always a rush for the deadline. Khairul, do you think the deadline plays a very important part in accidents happening?
downtime of accidents much better in comparison to the construction outside. Reason is very simple. It comes down to deadline. It comes down to the project duration. You have a 20-story condominium to build, example, and you're giving a deadline of two years.
Or even 3 years.
In comparison to, let's look at the other countries back in when I went to London and all that. The same amount of construction scope and everything, the contract duration will be like 4 to 5 years. So
They
they
do not
have
rush
a
it.
better planning.
Yeah.
They have a better planning.
Agree.
So they go through a robust system of making sure that the contractors explain the work process. They have the job. Yes, it's more scope, more work, but it is being done.
Yeah.
So whether the reality to meet zero accident can be done or not, yes, it can be done, provided you have all this a good commitment from your management. You have a proper deadline set. You cannot set ridiculous deadlines. Really ridiculous deadlines. They'll be chasing for TOP. The last minute of TOP, I've said in so many projects, TOP, the last 1 week of TOPs. I rather not walk to site. I can say that.
Yeah.
Everyone will be flying, literally flying. Jobs will be
Yeah.
flying. I don't understand why the blue helmets will be walking around the site, because no one will listen to us. This is because of deadlines.
So the
when you
blue
have-
helmets become invisible.
Yeah, correct.
During this
No,
TOP
I would
period.
say invisible. I would say scapegoats lah. Why? In the event something were to happen, then they will say, "Hey,
Yeah.
I have a safety guy. I've done my due diligence. Our safety coordinator is walking around the site. He never advised me that this has to be done." So that kind of thing. So all these challenges. So like what you said, the deadline is a very very important factor that has to be looked into. If they were to set some achievable deadlines for projects duration, then this will definitely be a very important thing to look at.
Yes, Raja.
Touching on what Khairul shared, right? I think the culture.
Again, back to culture.
The Asian culture,
Yeah.
if I may briefly say, right? As compared to the European culture, as compared to other places around the world, it's different. We always have this mentality of rushing,
Yeah.
but why? What's the reason? What's the rationale?
You drive your car in the in the early morning traffic, you'll understand why.
Yeah, Yeah, but if it's like something like a construction project, it has to be it is critical. There are going to be many issues. It has to be very well structured. And just because a customer is demanding it to be a little faster doesn't mean that we should take shortcuts.
Exactly, that's the thing.
And to push this across every stakeholder in a project, that's the challenge.
Yeah.
And to have that same frequency, that's the issue that us EHS guys have.
That's the hardest
which
thing
is the
to
problem. Yeah.
And Raja, I still touching on deadline.
Yeah.
Do you think because of this deadline where workers are overstretched? Because we all know that workers are supposed to only work 12 hours per day.
Yeah.
Of course, I think unless you apply for overtime exemption or something like that, or is standard 12 hours. But we all know that many a times they work more than 12 hours per day.
Yeah.
Especially during TOP period, the end period, the construction, and that kind of thing. They'll work something, the normal timings are like 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., which means 14 hours. Even if you minus the lunch and that kind of thing, sometimes it still goes more than 12 hours and etc. Do you think because of this deadline, it leads to the fatigueness of the workers? Because just imagine 10 p.m. the workers finish their job.
Yeah.
They go back home, they need to shower, they need to cook for the next day's, lunch and dinner and etc. Do you think accidents happen because the workers are fatigued, because they are overstretched at work?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think that plays a significant contribution to them feeling tired, and not only that leading to accidents as well. So this is very arguable again, and it's extremely grey in my opinion. Why? Because when you push a staff, in the end of the day, if you were to pay him that additional, whether he's a foreigner or whatsoever, sometimes he's open to take it, which is a problem.
Yeah.
They should
Which most will take it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the part where it is a challenge, but it's important to, even though if you communicate, it still happens. Because in the end of the day, it's still money for them, right?
Exactly, yeah. And some more, like what we say, overtime plays a very big part on their salary.
Yeah, salaries. Yeah.
Yeah, Khairul, again, deadline. Because there's a deadline, so the one that is pressured the most are the project manager, the construction manager. That's when you always see the frictions happening between the progress side and the safety side. And when there's friction happening, where the safety side is not able to push what he feels that there's a non-compliance happening, then accidents happen. What's your thought about that, Khairul? You would have seen this, this thing happening multiple times.
PM, CM are definitely a contributing factor to how a project is being run.
I would say a major contributing
PM
factor.
does the major decision. Yes, definitely, project manager will be able to make a decision. He is the one fully responsible. He can make a lot of difference. But at the same time, I would like to say that I have also met project managers who are very, very committed to workplace safety. They do not want to take shortcut. They don't want to take risks. They want to make sure the contractors comply to everything. But they are overruled by the developers. So the developers come in, they conduct their meetings, they give ridiculous timeline. They have another thing called nominated subcontractors. That means the subcontractors are nominated by the developers, whereas even the project manager cannot touch them. So all these are also in place.
Who gives the timeline?
Timeline is being set by project managers, but is being controlled by the developers. If I were to give the timeline, for example, 2 months to complete this floor, the one floor, they will not be accepting it.
They will say, okay, no, I need you to finish in 1.5 months.
Exactly. What is holding back? What is that? What is this? Why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? Why can't you get it faster?
So do you think the government should step in and come out with, not say a guideline, because a guideline, to be very honest, most of them will still, ignore guidelines, to set a rule, a law that, I am not very sure how you're going to do a ruling for for a timeline, but it should not be ridiculous so that the contractors are not stretched, the PMs, CMs are not stretched, the workers are not stretched, everyone, and then accidents happening. What do you think?
I think this will definitely play a key vital role in minimizing workplace accidents in Singapore if the timeline is being looked into. So if there were to be any MOM came up with this design for safety regulation. They talk about developers. They do talk about timeline, but they just say do not give a ridiculous timeline. They did not go very depth in it. Okay,
It was just a touch and go.
Yeah, so maybe there can be a guideline on the number, the project sum. Maybe they can use the project sum as a guide.
Maybe the manpower,
Because
or the government knows the manpower because they issue the main year, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah.
Can be manpower, can be project sum, can be the scale of the project. You know, if you're talking about a HDB block, how many numbers of block, how many floors of level of this. So if all these were being looked into, and then they can do. There is a calculation for this. You know, one floor to complete by doing your construction, by doing your formwork construction, concreting, dismantling of formwork. There is a guideline to it. So if you can calculate on that, definitely there will be a feasible timeline to meet. If you were to do a calculation, and sometimes they give project sum of a period of 2 years, and we go back and calculate the concreting time, the construction of formwork, the dismantling, the curing of concrete, will it be able to meet this target or not? You won't be able to meet.
So that's where they work 8 to 10.
Let alone preparation and administrative work. We talk about construction already, we won't be able to meet. This is where it comes in.
Yeah. I have another thing for Raja. Raja, you see now in site, whenever something critical happens, the safety will go and stop work. Even then, there is much issues because the PM, CM, or the company doesn't like when the safety come and stops the work.
Yeah.
They find you to be a burden on them. Do you think this purpose of stopping work, this action of stopping work should actually be given to all rather than just safety? A worker can actually highlight to stop a work. A supervisor can actually highlight. What do you think?
Safety is everybody's responsibility, not just the safety guys.
Exactly, yeah.
But when they hire a safety guy, this is a common misconception that even the person interviewing the safety guy is not really fully aware of. HR as well, they are not fully aware of the requirements. Why are you hiring a safety guy? To prevent you from having an accident. Not just that too, prevent you from having any regulatory
I'm more concerned about why HR is interviewing a safety guy. How HR knows how to interview a safety guy.
Exactly.
Another topic for
They are
another day.
often in the room.
Okay.
Okay, so So I'm saying that it's really very misaligned. Why are you hiring me then? If you're hiring me, then you are hiring me to prevent an accident, prevent a regulatory impact on my operations. So that's where I think it has to be very clear. So I think for Stop Work Authority, it shouldn't just be empowered to the safety guy. It should be empowered all the way down to the ground level.
Do you think companies are actually having some form of a loophole to maybe tie up with some companies, to maybe just give light duties, not to give MC, or even if it's a severe, maybe say a finger amputation, they just give 1 day, 2 days MC, they do an incident report, but it's classified as, it's a minor problem. What do you think, Khairul?
These were cases which were very common previously, and I think Ministry did a very good job. They
Bring it down.
They brought in the reporting structure. They changed it to 1 day also you need to report. Therefore, but then there's another loophole like what you said about light duty and all that. So minor injuries and some injuries are still being compromised in terms of light duty. There's another way. Workers will be repatriated and ask them to go and seek treatment back in their home country.
That's a very... I'm coming to that next, actually.
So these are some of the items which are still ongoing. Companies who tend to do all this are those who have zero commitment towards workplace safety. Yeah.
Why do you think, Raja, the workers are not complaining? So, for example, Khairul was saying that there are some companies, from what we have heard on ground, that they actually, maybe say this guy gets his finger crushed.
Okay.
And the company tells the guy, say that, okay, we don't want to make it into a big issue. We just bring you to a partnered clinic. We give you 1, 2, 3 days MC, that kind of thing. Still, we will do the incident report. We don't have a choice, but we just put it as a minor issue. We will give you maybe say $2,000. We will repatriate you to India, and then you can go there and heal. Once you are healed, you can come back again. We will take you back again. For now, just make sure you don't make any issue, because you got accident. If MOM knows, then you are not fit to work in Singapore, because next time your medical, anyway, medical doesn't show, it doesn't play a part in this, but they will say that, your medical will show that you are unfit and then you cannot work. So they get scared, and then they will just go to back to India or Bangladesh and so on. How do you think we can change the mindset of these workers that they should report this?
Okay, so I think for starters, we can keep that into the pre-induction when they do come into Singapore for the first time. Let them know very sternly that these are your requirements that you're here for, and these are under your power to do and execute. Especially if you're working in the construction side or any other industries which are in the marine sector or anything like that. So with that, I think it will definitely help the staff or worker to be notified that these situations do happen.
Yeah.
And the industry can actually speak about some case studies to also let these staff know when they come down to Singapore for the first few times.
Because
I think instead of touching on the fact of whether I report something happened to me, I can report, and the medium of reporting, instead of touching in that fact, during, like what Raja said, during the induction or during the SOC classes and all that, there should be more education to them to tell them that they will be protected. So once they feel that they have a sense of protection, and end of the day, it all down to dollars and cents. They are coming here for money.
Yeah.
So if they feel that I still will have an avenue for my income, I still have something to earn, and something can be worked out from that angle, and the workers feel that, then definitely they will start to voice out. If a company were to offer them, hey, I give you $1,000, go back home and settle this, they will definitely, okay, I rather choose to go and report. I let the ministry take care of me. They need to know that someone will take care of them.
Yeah.
Then it will work. If you look at foreign domestic workers, okay, let's talk about foreign domestic workers. So foreign domestic workers, previously, when they come to Singapore, they go for their regular medical checkup. What happens between them and the employer, it is between the walls. It was like that. So it was recently that past 2 years or 3 years that after one of the Myanmar foreign domestic worker was abused and killed.
That case.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Then
aware.
only now, every new foreign domestic worker that comes to Singapore, within 3 months or 4 months, she has to go for a mandatory interview session with the employer. With the Ministry of Manpower. They have engaged a third party to do so. So they voice out about their salary, their welfare, whether they are being abused. It's a one-to-one, it's a closed session where even the employees cannot go in. So of course, we're talking about foreign workers, large scale. There will not be enough resources to do that, to interview all the workers. But there can be a medium where workers can be given opportunity to, workers will be given knowledge on their protection. Instead of telling them, you report. But how am I being protected? They should be known then.
Yeah.
And then companies who have such records should be audited more regularly. Maybe start to interview the workers, go down to site, go and talk to the workers and look at their things like that. Then this angle can be tackled.
You see, when you speak about foreign domestic workers, I want to touch on another thing. Similarly, when they have this 6 monthly medical, where they need to go to the clinic to get the medical done, the employer is not allowed to follow them for the medical inside the room, and that kind of thing. Once the medical is done, the doctor needs to submit the medical report to the government.
We submit directly.
It's submitted directly. Okay, I'm not saying that the doctors need to submit the accident report if a worker gets injured. Accident report still needs to be done by the employer. But what I'm saying is that whenever there's such a case that comes to them, I guess maybe the government can have a centralized portal where, like how the foreign domestic workers, where they are reporting, where the doctors just need to fill up a few questions. what did this worker came in for? Because if the doctor is going to put that, oh no, he came in for, his finger was crushed. And if you're going to say that, I issue him 3 days MC, something is wrong.
Yeah.
The government will immediately find out. Because now, whatever actually happens, the government is not aware. MOM is not aware. It's just based on what is the incident
Employer
accident
can
report.
choose not to produce the MC to the authorities if you have understanding with the worker directly. I have understanding with the worker
That is
directly.
worse actually.
Yeah, so I just go there, I get the stitches done, I get the finger settled, and I told him, okay, you rest at home.
I don't report,
I don't report. We keep this, and the understanding between them is settled amicably. So that is the way ministry will not be known on this fella. So that is one thing that
And
can be
that
tackled.
is
Which
to
is
be
very
honest,
serious, right?
serious, and it's happening. It is happening. Of course, these are things that we hear. This guy says that guy says this, that kind of thing. Of course, we don't know 100%. We are not like the authorities. We can go investigate, and it's not our nature or job to go and investigate. But we are hearing this on ground. Like, so like what he says that if the employer don't make a report, but the doctor already indicated in a portal that, hey, this guy came and meet me.
Yeah.
Then the MOM can actually charge the employer. Why you never make a report? Because I already got a notification from the doctor that, a small notification from a doctor that your company guy came and did something in the clinic 2 weeks back. Now it's 2 weeks. You are supposed to report an incident report in 10 days. Why you never do a report? So you can close these gaps.
Yeah.
Rather
It's
than
not happening at this point.
Yeah. Like what you say, it's not, now there are many things that can actually just fall in through the cracks.
Grey areas.
Yeah, there are so many gray areas. I can even, just out of my mind now, I can say so many things that can be done. If a worker gets, accident on site, why do the company need to bring him go to the clinic? What if I can call a doctor down to site and the doctor treats him on site? I don't need to issue MC. I don't need to issue light duty because he was treated on site and I now bring him to clinic. So is that considered accident because it's not a reportable? It's not an incident to be a report to be made to the government. So these are all loopholes.
Yeah.
If I'm going to open the ground to Khairul, he can give me another 5 loopholes that these guys we can play with, and obviously things that we have heard that is happening on ground. So I believe that the so-called, the zero accidents or whatever the accident statistics that we are having may not really paint the real numbers, not of any of MOM's fault or anything. They are doing a great job, you see, in making sure that safety is on ground and etc. I'm trying to say that these guys, these big companies or whomever they are partnering with, they could they could be manipulating the numbers by not going through the right channel. What do you think, Raja? What could be improved actually?
Everyone should be aligned. Alignment is key here. I mean, when we talk about zero accidents, I think the main thing here is, what does zero accidents mean to you? For all of us, could be different, right? So I think the mentality has to change. It's all about changing your mindset and the way we deal with safety. So I think one thing that we can start with is, of course, we can actually let the staff know and what is the management's view on EHS or safety, right? And then like what Khairul mentioned early on in the talk, he did share that it should be top down, but not just top down, but it should flow both ways.
Yeah, right.
And using this feedback that you collect, you can actually tweak the system endlessly, which is forming part of your corrective action and preventive action, and also your PDCA cycle, right? So, with that thought, it could actually help to pivot from this very old school mentality and push past these things which are done in the old school times.
Old school way, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's how I feel it.
And of course, we hope that things actually change.
Yeah.
We hope that more attention is given to make sure lesser accidents or, if possible, a reality, zero accidents happen on site. Raja, thank you so much for joining us in this episode, with Khairul and I. And I have to give you special thanks. The only reason why is because I know that you had a really bad sore throat today, and then but you still insisted that you would want to join us for this, shoot for this episode. And I guess we feel bad, having you, with that husky voice,
Raspy voice, yeah.
yeah. So, but once again, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here. I think like you shared, the topic is something that I wanted to talk about. And yeah, with both of you guys, I think I had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yeah, it's our pleasure, man.
Thank you.
Okay, Raja, thank you very much. It was a very good topic that you chose and came in despite your condition. We really, really appreciate this. Okay, guys. The topic was again. We will repeat the topic again. It's about zero accidents. Whether is it a reality or a myth. So please drop your comments, feedbacks. Do feel free to let us know your views, and from there we will take it to see whether we can have further discussion, or maybe a new topic can arise from there. Okay. At the same time, do like, share our socials, and we hope to see more feedbacks and suggestions. End of the day, our job is not to change anything or prove a point here. We just want to make sure that we improvise the system. Thank you.
That was indeed a good point, Khairul. So, guys, we have come to the end of the episode. Zero accidents, reality or myth. Join us for the next episode. We have another topic with another guest speaker that we're going to speak about. So, meanwhile, do like what Khairul say, like, share, or comment. And you could also drop us an email if you think that there's a topic that resonates with you. Till then, see you guys.